I practice holistic ophthalmology. I help save people's sight, cover their vision, and preserve their vision with holistic, safe, and effective therapies. I've been in this game for about 30 years. Originally went to acupuncture school, pre-med, and at my senior year, when I was studying for my MCATs, I decided I was going to look at different options of medicine, dentistry, even I was throwing everything around, orthopedics. I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do, but I definitely wanted to do something in the medical field. And my father had gone a couple months ago to an acupuncturist for high blood pressure. And after 6 months, he had gotten off that his blood pressure meds that he wanted to get off, that he'd been on for 10 years.
Wow.
And I was home on Christmas break, and he was telling me about it and said, oh, you should talk to this guy. It's pretty interesting. He knew I'd been into like martial arts and yoga and meditation. But I was like, I'm going to med school. Like, I'll go check this guy out, but go to med school. So I went for acupuncture, and it was a very interesting experience, to say the least. And I loved the guy. I connected really, really well with the acupuncturist, and he was very willing to answer questions. He even invited me to come back for a few more treatments. And also, since I was home for a week and a half, to come shadow him and see what he did. It was a great invitation. He gave me a couple books, and I went in, and kind of that was it. So the philosophy just kind of sucked me in, and acupuncture school out in San Diego, and graduated and started my journey on functional medicine. About 2 years into my practice, I locked into ophthalmology and just evolved over the last 25, 30 years.
So what was the impetus for ophthalmology? Like, I mean, there are so many amazing systems in the body. What gave you the bug for the eyes?
Well, pretty interesting. So when I was in acupuncture school, back in 94, I went. It was pretty common knowledge in acupuncture school. It was preached by most of the teachers there and instructors there. So not to their default, it's just they're parroting what they had heard, that we really can't do too much for people with eye issues. It was kind of like, hey, there's a lot of things we can help people with, but eye issues is not one of them. So I kind of graduated with that mindset. And then I had some patients come in with glaucoma. Those were some of the first cases that I saw, the migraines and stuff like that. And it just occurred to me that if I could help people with headaches, if I could help people with digestive issues, allergies, back pain, what's the stigmata against ophthalmology? Like, why can't we do that? The nerves are the same, the muscles are the same, the blood vessels are the same. What's the deal with that? So I went on a vision quest, to find anybody and anything that I could talk to. Again, this is like the infant days of the internet. There was no like Google. There was there was like maybe AOL, and that was it. No search engines. I'm dating myself. So I had to fly around, to all over the world to get information and talk to people and email people. So I quickly realized that I was getting some results with some new information I had acquired, and that this population of people dealing with neurodegenerative conditions like glaucoma, macular degeneration, so on and so forth, were just, there was no help. Conventional medicine or any system medicine had no help for them. And I thought that I could. And there was one patient in particular who he was a stand for me. He was like, I have glaucoma. You're going to help me. You're going to help save my sight. And I was like, I'm only 2 years out of school. I don't really know too much about glaucoma. Thanks for the vote of confidence. And he just was a hard advocate. He was a big businessman, older guy from Brooklyn. And he just really believed in me. He believed in my ability to learn and how I could help him. So sometimes you get people who are stands for you and don't necessarily believe. They believe before you believe it. They have faith. So it was it. It was this guy, Manny, who just had total conviction that I was going to help him. And I rode his conviction and his certainty that I was going to be able to help him. And I had to rise to be that guy.
100%.
So that's how it happened.
No, 100%. That's so true, that's what actually happens. You got to believe it can be done, and then be the one that just rides the wave.
Yep. So had to fill the shoes, and then it just, the more I learned, the more obsessed I got with it. And it wasn't just acupuncture. It was Chinese herbs. It was functional medicine. It was naturopathy. It was red light therapy. It was hyperbaric. It was electrotherapy. It's like alternating current stimulation. It was diet. It was nutrition. It was a way of thinking. Again, as you said, it's this idea that ophthalmologists often forget that patients have a body attached to these little ping pong ball size things stuck in our skull called eyeballs. And conventional medicine's become so fractionated and so compartmentalized that they forget, there's actually a person, and they'll, literally tell people like, oh, you're going to go blind in 2 years or 3 years, and just not really, and that's not true. So it's a combination of my passion plus my extreme frustration with how people are being treated.
Yes.
So the more stories I heard, and the more I got upset about it. It's like, hey man, I think I could do something, and it's on me. It was just, it took over my identity, literally, in terms of like, this is what I do, this is who I am, and these are the people I'm helping. The end.